Once again, thank you everyone for joining us for tonight's info session, where we are going to discuss the University of Miami Executive Certificate in Leadership Coaching Program. We're very excited to have you here. We're excited to speak with you about this program. It is a new program for us, and we have the lead instructors on the call this evening who are going to discuss the program in greater detail with you. So, oopsie. I'm gonna skip ahead too much. So just a few housekeeping notes before we get started. The information session this evening should take about 60 minutes. I will do my best to keep us within that time frame. A recording will be available if you need to view it again, or if you have to leave early, or if you missed part of it. If you want to catch the session again, we can provide that to you. Please make sure to reach out to us if you need the recording. And then as far as the questions and answers, we do have a Q&A function open on Zoom. So please feel free to ask your questions in the Q&A section. What's going to happen is that we're going to run through the program, go through our slides. We have a section saved for going over your questions, and we will do our best to answer as many as possible this evening. And then, of course, if you're excited about what you hear this evening and you want to move forward, we will discuss the registration process in our final few slides. And we are currently accepting applicants for our October cohort. So excited to have you here and hope you can join us for our fall semester. As I mentioned, so we do have our lead instructors for the program on the call. But before we get into that, I do want to just introduce myself, which I always forget to do. My name is Angelo Muchtabai. I am the Assistant Director for Enrollment Management at the Division of Continuing and International Education. Just some quick information about our division. Our division at the University of Miami aims to empower people to reach their full potential through lifelong learning. With more than 70 credit and non-credit programs, the division creates continuous learning experiences that transform lives. That transforms individuals, organizations, and entire communities. If you have not done so already, please make sure to visit our website. You will see a full listing of our credit and non-credit courses that are available. In addition to information, you'll also find about our coaching program. So I would like to take a few minutes to introduce to you our guests this evening and your lead instructors for the coaching program. We have Paulette on the call, and she is an ICF Master Certified Coach, an ICF Mentor Coach, Board Certified Coach, and New York University Adjunct Assistant Professor, NYU Distinguished Teaching Award winner, and coaching supervisor. Hello, Paulette, and thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we also have Jimmy Beth. Jimmy Beth is an ICF certified coach, University of Illinois and Illinois State University former faculty, ICF, ACC, and PCC assessor, advanced diploma in executive coaching from NYU, doctorate in applied learning sciences, and director of coaching at Exec Online. So Jimmy Beth, thank you as well so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me here.
Awesome, great. And with that said, if Paulette, if you're ready, feel free to take over the microphone.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm not seeing the slides, which makes me think something might be weird. Let me just, yeah, hang on. Yeah, I don't see the slides.
Okay. Jimmy Beth, are you seeing my slides just to make sure?
I do see them. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm not sure where that would be.
Okay, now I'm seeing them. Isn't that interesting? All right.
The magic touch.
Well, thank you, Angelo, and I'm really excited to be here to talk to all of you about the program. This program is designed to develop your skills as a leadership coach, be it an internal leadership coach in an organization, let's say, or an external leadership coach, similar to what Jimmy Beth and I do, whereby we go into organizations and we work with people in the workplace to coach them. Or if you're a leader looking to incorporate coaching skills into your existing leadership skill repertoire. Either way, this program is designed to give you the background, the context, and the skills that you'll need. We take a three-pronged approach to teaching coaching in this curriculum. First, we teach you the science of coaching, the science of change, the psychology of change. We teach you coaching skills. And most importantly, we teach you how to apply those skills in real life scenarios, in the workplace and beyond. Rest assured, the primary focus is on real life application rather than just theory and study. The coursework is meticulously designed to align with and maintains the integrity of the International Coach Federation core coaching competencies, code of ethics, and standards of practice. So you will find that this program will highly align with what the top coaches in the world are studying and doing and being certified in. Could we go to the next slide, Angela? I'm not sure if I have the ability to do that. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. So in this program, you will learn several things. Look, it's a long program with chock full of interesting and useful data. You will learn, among other things, what coaching is, what it isn't, and how it differs from other modalities such as therapy or mentoring. You'll understand all the critical foundational aspects of coaching, including the science of change, cognitive behavioral psychology, and learning theories. These theories will help you understand and appreciate how to work with people to help them grow, learn, and change. You'll also learn what comprises ethical conduct. You'll learn about, and this is a popular word, mindset and presence. You'll learn about how to embody a coaching mindset and how to embody mindful presence. We all know that in the workplace, things can get easily triggered. So we'll learn techniques to establish and maintain that type of mindset. You'll learn how to ask powerful questions that help people with self-directed problem solving. We teach people how to learn on their own. We're going to help teach you how to develop trust and psychological safety with others to get them to open up, to be willing to hear what you have to say, to be willing to expose what they're feeling and what their fears are and where they think their areas of development are. You're going to learn how to communicate with empathy as opposed to judgment. And you'll learn some active listening techniques to help build trust in your relationships. A few more things. You'll also learn how to give useful feedback that doesn't close people down, that they can listen to it, get it, and make it actionable. And if you're a leader, this is really important with developing people. You will also learn methods and techniques to help people connect to their motivation, because without motivation, it's just a goal on a sheet of paper. And lastly, you'll leave the program being able to demonstrate coaching skills in a coaching conversation and a coaching engagement, which is a series of conversations in any context at all. Angela, shall we go to the next slide? Unless we're stopping for questions, I'm not sure. A little bit about the program content. Well, I actually told you a lot about it. Let me just share with you the percentages of where the content lies. So 80% of what you will be learning will be coaching skills, ethics, techniques, skills, etc. 20% of what you'll be learning will be science and theory and tools and techniques. So together, comprising 100% of the program, which, as you may know, is synchronous in the classroom, as well as asynchronous work that you do on your own. Can we get to the next slide, Angela? Yeah. Let me turn it over to Jimmy Beth at this point.
Thank you. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about how all of that 80-20 lands in the program in the modules that we're going to be teaching. So the Executive Certificate in Leadership Coaching takes place throughout 3 modules. Each one of them is 12 weeks long. Altogether, it's a 10-month program. And so this first module is the foundations of coaching, and it's going to run for this October cohort from October 23rd through January 29th. So those are the sort of the 12 weeks that it encompasses. And we have a week off for Thanksgiving. We've got some time off in there for the holidays, which is why 12 doesn't equal 12 on the dates there. And so in module 1, we're really, you know, as it says, laying the foundation. And so during this time, you're going to gain this really comprehensive understanding of evidence-based theories that form the backbone of coaching. And we're going to explore the similarities and differences between coaching and other related disciplines like mentoring, counseling, and consulting. You're going to learn how to effectively demonstrate those key coaching skills that Paulette was just referencing, and then be able to apply that to a structured conversational model to guide the coaching sessions. And so right from the very beginning in module 1, we're looking to integrate coaching practice both in class, and also you'll be doing some practice coaching outside of class as well. And we just want you to be able to really understand from the onset the full scope of what coaching's potential is and how it can be leveraged to create this meaningful impact within organizations, whether you're an internal coach, an external coach, or a leader who's wanting to integrate the coaching approach to your leadership style. And so we can go on to take a look at module 2. So with the foundation in place with module 1, we move into module 2, which is a focus on coaching theory and skills. And that's going to run from February 12th through May 7th for this cohort. And in this module, we're really diving a lot deeper into the mechanics of coaching by focusing on how to effectively structure leadership coaching sessions. And as Paulette was just referring to, the leadership coaching engagement, which is a series of sessions. We're, again, still very focused on the science-based coaching model that is designed to facilitate insight for your coachees, and also to be able to really create some meaningful growth and change for your clients. And so throughout the module, we're very focused on the International Coach Federation and those coaching competencies that are the standard, the golden standard, as they call them, and globally recognized, that ensures that you're going to be really well versed in the standards, in best practices that really define the profession of coaching. Additionally, we are going to be exploring these essential elements of that learning conversation, which is really what coaching is, and essentially is that coaching conversation. And so we want to make sure that you're well equipped with the skills that you need in order to guide the client, or the coachee, as we call them, through the process of reflection, discovery, and action. And then by the end of this module, you'll have a really solid understanding of how to conduct really impactful coaching sessions that are both structured and yet flexible, because we always know that we show up with the client that's in front of us, and we need to be able to adapt and use a variety of different tools and approaches to kind of meet the client where they're at. And then for moving on to the final module, in module 3, this is, we are coaching and throughout the entire program. We start in module 1, we do more coaching in module 2. And module 3 is really about the coaching lab, and really the leadership coaching in practice. And so for module 3, we're going to be doing that mostly in the summer from May 14th through August 6th. And this is, like I said, just very much focusing on the expertise and the experience of practicing coaching. And so we're going to take your skills and your knowledge that you've gained in the previous modules and then apply them in the real world in coaching scenarios. You're going to be able to focus here on helping your coaching clients get clarity and achieve their goals. And while at the same time you're developing a sort of a deeper understanding of those coaching competencies that we talked about, coaching models, coaching frameworks, and really kind of building out your coaching toolkit. while you're practicing the coaching itself. And so throughout this third and final module, you're going to really get to do a lot more field work, and which is involving, you know, establishing, maintaining, and completing those coaching engagements. And so I always say that, you know, coaching is a little bit like riding a bike, because you can talk about the mechanics of how the bike is built and think about the physics of how to keep the bike upright. And you might throw in some history of two-wheeled transportation, but the reality is that you really can only learn to ride a bike by doing it. You got to do it to do it. And I think that this is a real focus for us on this coaching program, that there's a lot of practice that is in play so that you feel pretty seasoned by the time that you get to the end of it. And so that hands-on experience piece is a really important piece. I will maybe just move on to the next module or slide there, so we can talk a little bit about the sort of the structure of the program. And so it runs for 10 months. The program is broken down, as we just went over, in these 3 modules. Each of those modules runs for 12 weeks. There's about a 1-week break in between each one of them to help us kind of refresh and catch our breath in between as we go. We've designed the schedule to really balance the live virtual sessions with self-paced learning that provides a little bit of flexibility for all of you busy professionals. And even though this is a rigorous program, it does have that balance of the synchronous in-class sessions plus the asynchronous work that you can do where you're going to be able to have a lot more control over when you do those. So each week we are going to be doing a 3-hour live session. It's an online class that's going to take place on Wednesdays for this October cohort between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern time. And that makes for a total of 36 synchronous live hours that we'll be doing on Wednesdays throughout the program. And then each module also has 18 hours of asynchronous self-study work that you do outside of class, that's intended for reading, for studying, and also for doing your coaching practice. And, I think that, the connections that you can make in this program can, it's a long program in 10 months, and we get a lot of time that we get to work together. And so I think that, one of the other sort of underlying benefits is the fact that you'll be able to make some good connections with your other classmates, and also, it's potential to make some connections with the people that you are going to be able to coach as you go along as well. Paulette, is there anything that you would like to add, or something you want to double click on before we move over to the Q&A session? Oh, you're on mute, sorry.
Perfect, thank you.
Angela, we can go ahead and turn things over to do Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Paulette and Jimmy Beth. Great presentation. I do not. There are a couple of questions in there. Let's see what we have. Did you want to read through some of these? And I see a few more coming in, so I'm glad to see. And please don't be shy. Feel free to put your questions in there for us.
Yeah, I'll just kick off with the one question that asks whether or not we ever get to meet live in the flesh on campus and in person. We don't have that planned for this cohort of it's a really fully online and virtual delivery of the program. But we do, as I said, spend 3 hours together once a week, so we do get that kind of interaction.
Thank you. And there's a question about, does this course have a measurable course completion requirement beyond just attendance and participation? The answer is yes. There is a rubric that you will see that comprises many factors. One, of course, is participation and attendance. Another is there might be a final written paper for one of the modules. There will be a toolkit that you will create that you will be able to use in real life for one of the modules. There'll be a couple of really small online open book quizzes And there will be some online forums where you will get to speak to each other freely. Things of that nature. Mostly, it will be practicing your coaching in class and outside of class. So yes, participation and attendance is critical, but there are other factors that will weigh into it, Sandra.
Let's see. One of the other questions is about Module 3, about how the coaching engagements, the practice coaching, are identified and established. The way that we did this when I was in Paulette's class at NYU is that we had the students brought in people from their world that were interested in getting coached. And then we put those into a pool, and people, matched or chose the leaders or the individuals that were put forth, and then they were able to reach out and create sort of the coaching relationship through that. I will just share that just a few weeks ago, I was just talking to a friend of mine who was in that coaching pool back in 2016 when I went through the NYU program, and she still meets with the coach that she met with, who was a fellow student of mine in the program. So sometimes these things turn into longer term clients even outside of our class. So yeah, put a note in the chat if that was enough to give you information or direction about the way that those clients are sourced.
The bottom line, I think, is we will support you in finding ways to get your pro bono or practice clients for this class. Yeah. I see that there's a question about the ACC level of ICF needing 100 hours of completed coaching practice. Yes, that is true. So all of your coaching hours practice, starting with module 1, count. So you will build up to those 100 hours at your own pace, given what's going on in your life. And, you can take it as slow or as fast as you like. But every hour you spend coaching out of the classroom, not in the classroom, will count as an hour. We'll be providing you with what's called a client log. We'll teach you how to use it. And we'll show you right in the beginning, by week 5, how to start filling it out with all the practice sessions and just little practice 20-minute things you might be doing with other students in the class. Yes, you're right, Sonali. We'll all have networks that we can share with each other. I'm sure I have 3 cousins who might want coaching and so forth. So all of us know people where it wouldn't be appropriate maybe for us to coach them, but we can bring them to the classroom and divvy that up. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you both. If it's okay, I will just, since the Q&A box is open at the moment, and please, the audience, feel free to ask your questions, but I'm going to just jump through the next few slides as we wait for more questions to come in. One of the things that's really great here at the University of Miami is that our certificate students, which are students who are going to be enrolled in our coaching program, have access to both our library resources and our career center. So as a certificate student, you have access to our career center, the Topple Career Center, where you have the platform called Handshake. You can apply for jobs and internships that are posted for University of Miami students. You can register for career fairs, have your resume reviewed, and there are thousands of employers available through the Handshake platform. So a great resource for all the students, and the library as well. You have access to the library online, and if you're local and you would like to come and visit the campus, you're also able to come out and check out books in person. So I just wanted to make sure to note that it is something we're always very excited to discuss with prospective students. And so as we discussed, we do have our fall semester coming up. October 23rd will be the start date for the fall cohort. The tuition price is listed there. We do offer a payment plan for the program. You can feel free to reach out to me if you want more details, and I'll provide my contact information on the next slide. But basically, it roughly comes out to about 6 or 7 payments that you can spread out tuition if you need to. There are other resources that may be available to you. I don't want to take too much time discussing some of those, but certainly feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're ready to move forward, we are accepting students right now for the fall intake. And the registration process, the best part is that it's quite easy and painless, I promise. You create your account on our student portal, you get the course added to your list of courses, and when you're ready to move forward with the registration, that pretty much finalizes the process. And as I promised, my contact information here. Feel free to keep asking questions if you have any, but you're also welcome to connect with me at a later time if there are some additional information that you need about the program or the registration process. I'll ask something then, since I've been taking coaching prospective students for some time now. I'll ask this for both of you. If I'm a prospective student and I want to take this on this journey, what's kind of the time commitment overall? If I'm, how much do I need to set aside time per week if I really want to be a successful and student in the program?
May I? Sure.
Please.
So there are 36 classroom hours, which you're aware of, and we say that there are 18 asynchronous study hours. But we also talked about you might want to add in more and getting coaching practice. So it's conceivable you might want to spend more than 18 hours. Some people might want to spend up to 30, get in 12 hours of coaching each module out of class. So at least 18 hours for 12 weeks, probably more realistically, like 30 in order to get the coaching practice. But that part is up to you. That's optional.
And we did get an additional question just to confirm the logistics that the class time is Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time. And that's consistent throughout the entire program from October through May, or through August, excuse me. And we do start on August 23rd, and it ends on it's October 23rd, and we end on August 8th.
Excellent. And what about resources, reading materials, books? Are there things that students generally need outside of class, or?
Yeah, we've really kind of whittled this down to like really core, like evergreen kind of materials that you will reference for years after you finish the program. So we do have 3 books that will be the core of everything that we do. There is Paulette has a textbook that is called Transformational Coaching. David Rock has a book called Quiet Leadership, and then the other is the Coactive Coaching. And all of those you can get on Amazon, and we have a direct link to Paulette's page for her book, although it's on Amazon as well, but you can get it directly through her and be able to have a nice PDF version of that, which I find to be really user friendly. And everything that we do is going to be based on those 3 books.
What Jimmy, Beth, and I did was we remember our days going through coaching school where there were all these extraneous things that were optional, but we felt like they were really important. So we created over, Jimmy, Beth, would you say about 100 additional handouts for you that are not required, but certainly some of you may find helpful if you really want to dig in. So these handouts are in addition to the 3 books, and they're divided by topic as we teach them. We have videos, articles, white papers, things of that nature for you.
I think Sonali has another one here. I'm not sure if we have a specific number for that, but I don't know if
number 4.
How many target students in each cohort? I think we may have a cap, Sonali, but I'm not sure if necessarily a target per se, but I could be wrong. And we have Anna with us as well if we needed additional support on some of these questions.
Yeah. So I'm positive we want to keep a balance between keeping it intimate enough that everyone gets one-on-one time with faculty and gets feedback. And also we want to balance it with having enough diversity and a deeper and wider context. But I think Anna would be the one to answer with a number.
Well, typically we have cohorts of no more than 20 students. You know, between 15 and 20 students is our target.
Great, thank you. And that was Anna, who is our assistant director of program, just in case you heard the voice, but not a video.
My pleasure. I'm in the background responding.
Thank you, Anna, so much. Okay, any more questions? We still have a little bit of time if anybody wants to ask any questions from our professors we have this evening. If not, I will keep asking. I will take up some of this time. If I'll ask something. I know sometimes when I speak to prospective students who are relatively new to the coaching field, and they sometimes just want a better understanding, how is that different than mentoring, and how's that different than teaching? Could both of you or one of you speak a little bit about that and maybe help the audience learn more about the coaching profession itself?
Paulette, do you want to start?
Sure. So rest assured, on day 1, we answer that question. And to give you the simplified version, there is a difference between coaching, therapy, mentoring, and counseling. And the differences have to do with a past focus versus a future focus, and a problem focus versus a solutions focus. So in coaching, we look at the present and we look at the future in terms of solutions and building and what can we create. We assume that everyone is highly functional and we go from there. In therapy, typically, not always, there is a focus on the past. What is the origin of this? And what is the dysfunction that may be at play? So the focus is certainly on what is the problem. There's a diagnosis, and the focus is on the past, not as much as on present and future, where coaching lives. Mentoring is simply saying, here's how I did it. I can show you what I did. Oh, you've never done a budget before. Here's one way to do it. So it's teaching you what I know. And maybe I know something great, maybe I don't, but that's mentoring. And consulting is saying, here's the problem, here's how you can fix it. So coaching assumes no problems. It says, where do you want to grow? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What's the ideal situation for you, the ideal career? What are the skills you want to develop? And then we set goals and build strategies to get to those goals. And week to week to week, we meet with clients to identify what's next to learn. It's an iterative learning approach based on actions. Each week, hopefully, the client will commit to self-determined actions. There's no homework in coaching. The client will come in and say, okay, so next week I'm going to try that out when asking my boss for the raise or what have you. And then when they come back to the coach the next week, they debrief that and then go from there. So the client is working a goal throughout a period of time, be it 12 weeks or more, with the client. And it's a goal, strategy, action approach that's present and future focused on solutions. But again, we're going to give you a handy dandy tool so you don't have to remember all that because it can get confusing. We're going to give you a diagram that literally shows you this in terms of past and present and problem and solution. So to make it easy for you to explain to other people. So at the end of day 1, And people say, oh, so I understand you just enrolled at this University of Miami program. So I've been thinking, what's the difference between coaching and therapy? You'll be able to answer that.
Oh,
Jimmy Beth, what do you want to add?
thank you. Jimmy Beth, anything?
Well, I thought
Yes.
that was very thorough and perfect. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you both. I think I'm going to cut that part of the video and put it on YouTube. And if anybody asks me that question again, I'll just point them to that YouTube link. Thank you so much, Paulette. Anything else? Any, Paulette and Jimmy, any words of advice for someone maybe looking to take on this challenge? Any, anything they should know or prepare themselves beforehand as they're getting ready for the program?
Well, I mean, I think that I meant I started this the seed a little bit earlier too. Just you know, one of the things that I've really carried forward out of my training, which I did at NYU, was really a lot of relationships. You know, I think that, you know, this is a 10-month program. You really get to know your fellow students, and a lot of times, you know, they go in directions, and that creates additional opportunities for us. You know, when I was director of coaching at Exec Online, you know, I've hired 3 people that were in my program years before. You know, it's just it's a very relationship oriented field, and so, you know, it makes sense that the relationships that you get to make. And I think that it's one of the benefits of you know, doing your coach training at a big university like this. It tends to attract really high level students, and I think that, you know, this focus on leadership coaching and having you know, folks that are in the program that have professional experience, that, you know, that they have a network of people that they know, that, you know, they can make referrals to, you know, just in terms of thinking about like what's on the other side of completing the executive certificate in leadership coaching. I think a lot of the relationships are the sort of the thing that feeds forward and a lot of this, on top of having, you know, a lot of you know, practical experience with all the coaching practice, and a really solid foundation and understanding what coaching is and how to do it.
And, you know, Jimmy Beth, on the other end, there's this highly analytical linear piece of it. So
Yeah.
I would say, in addition to that, which is absolutely true and phenomenal, be ready. This is going to be rigorous, but probably one of the most amazing experiences of your life. I haven't met anyone that has told me that going through coaching program hasn't transformed how they see themselves, how they show up, and their relationships. My relationships today, whether it's with my puppy, my husband, coworkers, direct reports, is a reflection of what I learned in my coaching program. So you need to be open. You need to be willing to try on new ideas that you've never heard before, that may go against the grain, against everything you've been told.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to experiment. You have to sort of be willing to make a little bit of a mess and check it out and have some humility about it. We're all going to be in the same position. We're going to be learning a new language that we're not fluent in, and you're going to feel incompetent sometimes. But that's the great part about it. This is an intellectually challenging course that also has the most amazing relationship benefits and feels to it.
Excellent.
That's the both worlds.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think.
Outstanding. Thank you. Thank you both so much. Honestly, I know we're a little bit ahead of schedule. If there are no more questions from the audience, and if you know, everyone has received the information they need, I will not keep everyone here any longer. First of all, I want to thank Paulette and Jimmy Beth for your time this evening. A very informative session. Thank you to the audience for joining us this evening. We really look forward to welcoming you into our incoming class for the fall semester. Thank you for my teammates to helping with those questions and helping setting up this evening's presentation. And as I mentioned, if there's anything that comes up, if you have any questions, please take a picture of what you see on the screen, or jot the information down. You're always welcome to reach out to me. Thank you again, everyone, and have a great evening.